brain, your mind, they don't work in a vacuum. They don't work randomly. It's all part of the nervous system. Everything is part of something in nature. So your mind doesn't operate without your nervous system. Simple as that. If you want to achieve anything, literally anything, and in terms of achieving, that can mean a lot of different things, but with anything that you want to do in your life, you can't do it without your body, can you? People are in their heads, in their mind, constantly totally ignoring their nervous system, totally ignoring their body. They're disconnected from their body. They think, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I eat, or it doesn't matter if I overeat. That's the problem here. And whatever your story is, whether you're from a dysfunctional family or a very successful family, whatever the story is, you will not be able to do anything without your body. So that's the most important partnership that you will ever have in life. You have yourself, right? If you feel lost and confused, you need to realize that you have been neglecting your body in many different ways. And there's no such thing as eating right and doing the right thing, because it means very different things for each nervous system, for each person. It really depends where you are in life, who you are, where you live, what kind of conditions you live, etc. Right? So when it comes to the diet, you might be thinking, oh, I'm eating the right foods, right? I'm eating what I'm being told. But if you suffer with any sort of digestion issues, or if you don't have energy, let's keep it simple. That means you're eating something, or you're eating in a way that is slowing your nervous system down, that is slowing you down, and it's just too heavy for you, right? Again, that can mean a lot of different things, and I want you to learn a skill of really asking yourself and connecting with your nervous system. Like, what is this telling me? Because naturally, you are a life force. You are a life force. There's infinite amount of energy in you, but you must be stopping it somehow if you don't have energy. Very often that means depression, right? So this is the label we put on not having energy in the system, in the nervous system, right? That's why when you're depressed, it's very difficult to do something. So your partner, your nervous system, your partner for life, is telling you, hey, buddy, there's something you're doing that's causing me to slow down, right? So doing the right thing is not a thing. You need to accept your ignorance, right? You need to say to yourself, I don't know, I need to find out. I need to find out. So your nervous system has been doing a lot of work for you all the time. And what we do as people, and don't ask me why, is that we just continue without any awareness as to how whatever we're doing make us feel. Because your nervous system is communicating with you all the time, but you're not listening, right? And it communicates in energy. It communicates with the feelings and sensations in your body. Your nervous system doesn't have words, does it? It has symptoms. That's the language of the nervous system. It's about understanding that you won't be able to achieve anything, whatever that is, even doing nothing, right? Without understanding the needs of your nervous system. So if you don't have any practice, daily, connecting with your nervous system, being in your body, giving it what it needs, and understanding those needs, you're going to create a lot of frustrations for yourself, a lot of stuckness, a lot of pain, to be honest. And also you can't work on mental health without understanding the nervous system. You really can't work. Believe me, I've tried, right? So with myself and with a lot of different people, unless you become conscious and aware of what your body needs to work optimally on the level of mind, you will be banging your head against the wall. So yes, the stories, the narrative is the body is not important, it's a separate thing, it's all about consciousness and whatever. You need to be able to connect with your nervous system and know what it needs on a daily basis and learning to meet those needs. Again, there's a lot of noise, right? So we think, oh, we're just going to do this one thing or listen to this one thing and apply this one thing. But it might be that you are completely missing the point, because any partnership, any friendship or any relationship in your life requires you to be present. So if you are not present for your body, then you can't expect to feel good. If you don't give your body what it needs at any given time, you can't expect to have energy, mental energy, psychological. If you don't understand the emotions that your nervous system is sending you every day, if you're trying to deny them, if you try to ignore it, if you try to, I'm not emotional or whatever your story is, right? Because the narrative in today's world is like, it's all about achieving and success and all of this. But anyone who achieved anything in their life knows that their body comes first and your body runs the show. All right. So think about it. How many decisions have you made for yourself as to what to do in the first 2 decades of your life? None. Right? Your heartbeat, your digestion, everything is controlled by your body and by your nervous system. How open you are, how engaged you are, etc. Be concerned with yourself and your body only. And this is the practice. This is the practice. Because people talk about, gratitude practice or yoga practice or meditation practice. You can't meditate your way out of depression. You can't meditate your way out of anxiety, because those experiences are bodily experiences. Yes, there might be cases where someone just overcame years of whatever, right? But again, they did it with their body, because they didn't meditate on something outside of them. They meditated on something inside of them. So what I'm asking you here for is to be curious about your nervous system. What is it telling me? And when it comes to wanting and needing, the golden rule is that you can have what you want if you do what you need, right? What your body needs, what your nervous system needs. A lot of the times when it comes to mental health or any sort of mental health issue problem, it's very simple, because your nervous system is not concerned with something that happens in a neighbor's house. Your nervous system is concerned with your experience only, right? And understanding what you're doing to your nervous system on a daily basis. So a practice of actually asking yourself, when you do whatever you do or you hang out with people, ask yourself, how does it make me feel? Because chances are that you're either going to feel horrible, some kind of down, right? Or confused or detached or whatever. So you need to engage yourself with your nervous system by constantly being aware. Maybe not constantly, maybe not straight away, because nothing happens straight away. It's a process. Relationship with yourself and inner work is a process of life. That's the biggest wonderful thing that we can actually involve ourselves in: creation and being the maker of our own life and our own reality, etc. So you need to wake up to the fact that you have the will. You can't control a lot of things, but this is where your control comes in. your certainty. You can be certain that you have the consciousness and the tool here. Yes, it's your attention and your focus. So where is it? Where is it in your daily life? Where do you spend your time in your own head? Like everything you watch, everything you consume, etc., right? So it's about coming back to your body and having some kind of practice. And that practice, it's about your everyday life. So it's not about you sitting down and doing nothing and waiting for the answers. No, it's about you engaging with normal activities, like making your food, like tidying up, do anything, right? This is what your body wants. Your body wants you to be engaged with yourself and your reality. Your body doesn't want to be bored. Your body doesn't want to consume all this shit that it's about other people's life. So whatever you are involved with, politics or gaming or whatever, your body wants you to play. Your nervous system wants you to play. And then we can talk about working on your mind. And then we can talk about what's going on in your mind without you engaging yourself with your nervous system and asking daily what it needs. And those needs can change, right? So you're not a robot, especially if you're a woman, you know, things change. Or if you have a wife, just remember, for women, it's very different than for men. Men love routine, discipline. It's the hunting bit, right? So men are the hunters. So for that, you need like a singular vision, singular attention. Women, you know, our relationship with our body is very different because we keep changing. We have a cycle of 28 days and everything is constantly changing in us. So we have to respond to that, right? But again, it's the nervous system. It's being able to check in with yourself daily. How are you getting on? How are you doing? How does something make you feel? And it's almost like becoming the partner that your body needs. And a lot of the times when you give your body what it needs, a certain amount of movement, a certain amount of sleep, fuel, which is food or whatever, that's sort of the basic needs. We don't even get the basic needs right, do we? We are either overeating or undereating or whatever, right? We're not listening to our body. And it's very simple. You will feel satisfied if you're doing the right thing. You will feel calm if you're doing the right thing, right? Trust me, your body and your nervous system doesn't care about what's going to happen in 3 months. So we can't talk about mental health only in terms of what goes on in our head. And if you're working on yourself, if you're listening to this, give yourself a couple of days, a week, 10 days, because again, it depends how lost you are. Depends on your relationship with your nervous system, right? So where you are. But, you know, I assure you that after, it's not, oh, I need to give it 100%. No. It's, hey, what do I need today? What do you need me to do today to feel okay, right? So sometimes it's movement, sometimes it's rest, sometimes connecting with outside world. Sometimes it's disconnecting from the outside world. So you really need to know how your partner operates and what it needs, right? You do need to know how you operate. You need to be very specific about your nervous system. You need to know, does it have a tendency for anxiety or depression? Because it cannot be both usually, right? What kind of anxiety do you have? Is it the kind of anxiety where you're just in the doing mode all the time? You're constantly moving, changing, and you seeking novelty, etc.? Or is this the kind of anxiety where you completely detach and isolate yourself? So knowing and being very specific about your nervous system, it's the way to work on your mind. You can't do it without it. You will be creating a lot of frustrations And, make sure that you don't find yourself in 3 months in the same position, because you will be, again, your sense of self, is being chipped away constantly by you not being curious about yourselves. It costs you, right? It costs you your life, your choices, money, because there is a way of soothing yourself, and it's probably costing you something. So you're already soothing yourself, right? With some kind of substance, behavior, some kind of habit. So it's already costing you. And your way of getting it back, whatever you need, is harnessing your will and understanding the relationship with your body, how important it is with your nervous system. And then you can work on your mind, on your mental health. But I can guarantee you that if you meet your nervous system needs for a couple of days, your mind will calm down. Very interesting. Depends on the type you are, but your mind will calm down. You will get your clarity. You will get whatever you need. You will get your answers. But yeah, that's the level 1. You can't work on your mental health without your body. Never give up on yourself. See you in the next video.